Welcome back to the Lightning on Games already. AK Ninja here with 6 tips to help you with Gnoster and any other Night Lords. So my first tip is to level up as quickly as possible. Now when you drop in, you'll either drop in next to a church or a little encampment that has just enough enemies to get you to level 2 immediately. Do not run past these. These are very important and they'll let you get into the enemies quicker. Now you want to head towards the church, but while you're heading towards the church, you're going to want to actually make sure you hit all the markings on the map on your way, so you're not low level from chasing around churches all game. Otherwise you'll be probably a level 3 or 4 best for the first night. Now for my third tip, make sure you go to them marked areas as they have great loot. They'll actually drop a chest for you to interact with, and they'll have lots of XP that help level you up. Now I recommend once you hit around level 5, if you're near the central fortress, do go to it because it has awesome loot, and if you have a good team you can go to the under area of there and go down there. There'll be a great enemy. He's usually not too tough if your team has a pretty decent coordination. Now he can drop an extra revival for if your team dies. If not, he'll drop you great loot anyways. So once you defeat that boss under there, you'll want to go through the path that he's guarding, and there will be another chest in there that will give you a talisman. Now each of these talismans are made specific for each character. So if you have an archer on your team and you get offered the archer talisman, I recommend grabbing it for that teammate and marking it for them, so they know that there's a good talisman there for them. Alright, now once you're done in that under area of the central fortress, you want to stay there, as if you go around the outer perimeter walls, there'll be 4 or 5 bosses circled around there. There will either be big knights or jar throwing trolls. Either or, they will both actually give a chest when you kill most of them and lots of XP, and if you do clear all of the ads, this should get you to around level 8 or 9 before the first night even starts, which is a great head start. And then once you're done at that fortress, you want to make sure that you're going around and getting them churches, as the more flasks you have, the better. Because as you see here in this boss battle, we have 7 flasks, which is the max you can get, I'm fairly sure. If not, 8 is the max. So you want to make sure you get as many, as they're vital to healing your health. Alright, on to the next tip. If you're struggling on a certain mini boss and you're just constantly dying and getting one hit by him, even if you're doing well against him, you want to get your XP and run away and come back at a later date when you're slightly higher level, as he won't be worth the XP for how much time you're losing on him. And when you come back later, he'll still be however damage you got him while fighting him. Now for actual tips on Gnoster, the Wisdom of Night. So I recommend for this boss that you, if you're an archer or you have a long range attack, that you focus this bird, as she takes a lot more damage than the big scorpion looking thing. Now she does have some pretty powerful attacks like that shooting one that you just seen there, but if you dodge it, it's well worth it. As you can see there, I use my big bow and she's actually stunned, and you can run up and use a critical hit if you're close enough. As you can see, I just missed it, but if you are close, it's great and will do massive damage. Now as you can see, if they pick up your teammate, you want to rapidly shoot the bird to get that massive damage off as they'll stay still. Now your teammate may or may not survive this. If they don't, then quickly get the res off, as Gnoster will actually fly away for a little while and give you time to. Now as you can see, once you get that bar about, I'd say halfway to a third done, they'll actually join up together and they'll do this massive shockwave. Make sure you stay away, as they'll do massive damage to you. I made that mistake on the first time we fought Gnoster, and it took my whole health in one go. Now, as you can see, Gnoster does these massive charges now, where she's spraying out those beams of magic, while shooting also holy beams from the sky at you. So you're going to want to be very careful at this stage. If you're getting targeted by her, I recommend just keeping your stamina up and dodging when they come at you. Otherwise you could die. As you can see here, I tried to hit a lot of my bow, and I just got out of that holy area. Now that does do massive damage, and this poison here, it will stack up very quick, so I recommend running as quick as possible. Even you seen that I got pretty far away, it still almost drew a full stack onto my character. Now I want to make sure when you get to the boss battle, don't only hit the level up when you get to the third and final boss. I recommend going and hitting your level up if you can, and with your leftover credits going to the store on the left and buying preferably one of the bottom 3 items that cost 25,000, but if you can't afford them, then I recommend getting warming stones or crab meat. So the warming stone will drop an area on the ground that heals anyone that goes in it, and the crab meat boosts your physical damage, which is crucial for the boss battles. Now, when you're fighting with, especially with R9 knives, you want to make sure you're always trying to keep that weakening up with the triangle L2 critical skill, and making sure that's actually applied to the enemy when you use your triangle R2 special. And on this boss, I also noticed if you line it up well, you can hit the bird and the scorpion both at once with your triangle R2. Now when he lays down here, it's a great time to get up close and get your maximum damage. And if you have a ranged weapon like the archer here, you can target the bird while staying on the scorpion still, and you get the extra damage as the actual butterfly isn't as armored. But you want to make sure that you're always getting your teammates up, because even if you're just one player down, everything can go south really quick. Because one wrong step and it could take you out. Like here, I've been hit by the slide ground slam and almost got hit by that holy light. If I got hit by that, that could have been almost a wipe on the game, as our teammate was also low when it happened. So you just want to make sure that your team's always up, and making sure if they don't have heals that you can throw down a warming stone for them, or if you have wound stones such as like heal enemies when they're nearby you when you use your flask, going over and using your flask to help heal them as well. Because the wound stones are very important. Now, no matter how good or bad you do on an expedition, you'll always get at least 1 or 2, but if you make it to the final boss, I noticed that you get 3 or 4 of the actual stones to equip to your character, and it appears if you get later into the boss or even defeat the boss like we do here, then you get a few grand stones and an actual extra stone that buffs specific to the boss. So I'm pretty sure this one drops a one that buffs your poison damage and gives your weapon poison outputs, because she's very poison oriented, this boss, which is awesome for future Night Lords. As you can see here, when Gnoster does that flying shooting thing, you want to be careful as it does massive damage if you don't dodge it perfectly. But then Gnoster's down and the Night Lord is felled. Make sure to stay subbed till next time, everybody.